Mike, just looking at the numbers, revenue down 15% to 3.4 billion rand for the year. Headline earnings per share down 94% to 29 cents. Of course, this is lower than the indicated range you gave of 40 to 50 cents in a recent update. You do say there was a downward revision to a disallowance and a tax benefit. Well, what else has pushed those headline earnings down?
Well, if you look at our business, Francois, we've done well in terms of our production. If you look at our run of mine, if you look at our saleable product, if you look at our exports, we've done extremely well. I think we've been impacted, we've been impacted upon seriously by one, the exchange rate. Two, if you look at some of the areas at the mine, we're talking about excessive rain that impacted on our production a bit. And the ramping up of Bosmanspoort mine, that is stabilizing now, but it had an impact on our business at that time.
So that's the extent of some of the problems that you're facing. Let's tackle some of these issues separately, Mike. I mean, weakened coal prices to contend with. What's your outlook on that front? Because with economic growth slowly ticking higher, if we have to read into the latest economic, economic data that's come to the fore, surely demand-supply forces will come into play. What's your outlook for those coal prices moving forward?
Number one, this business is healthy, Optimum Coal Holdings. Number two, we are delivering. If we look at July, August, September, we're seeing good numbers. We've issued an indicative performance yesterday in terms of our run of mine, in terms of our export numbers. It's looking very positive. If you look at the coal price, 2008, you saw $150 a ton, and it came down, and now we're trading at around $85 a ton. We believe our expectations going forward, coal demand globally is strengthening. India, China, the Asian markets, Richards Bay Coal Terminal, for instance, the exports, we can see that Asia is growing. The demand is very strong in that area. If you look at the coal price going forward, we believe that we'll get $100 beyond 2012. So I am positive, I am bullish about coal demand fundamentals.
How about coal demand locally, though, because there have been suggestions that some of Eskom's new power stations, such as the Medupi, could be pushed out quite a while. Now, yesterday we had Exara saying it could be pushed out by 2 years. Of course, Eskom coming back and saying that's not true, perhaps 3 months. But does that raise a question mark over how demand for coal in South Africa is going to look going forward?
Not at all. We believe that Eskom, the opportunity is great. Local demand is extremely strong in my view. That's what we're observing. I mean, you're talking about Medupi being delayed, but you must think of Komati Power Station, Camden Power Station, and Grootfontein, which were mothballed at some stage, and now they are back, recommissioned and are starting to operate. We see great opportunities for Optimum as an example with Komati because it's next to Korenfontein mines. So the demand for coal for Komati Power Station, the demand for Camden Power Station, the demand for Grootfontein, where will it come from? I believe local demand in terms of Eskom is strong. And if you look at the local demand for what we call a high-value product with other local coal users, there are great opportunities, and we're working hard at entering that market.
Mike, you deliver quite a lot of your product to Eskom. At the moment, you are having a dispute with Eskom. How big is this in your life, and how will this dispute affect your future relationship with Eskom?
We've got a great relationship with Eskom, number one. We've got a coal supply agreement at Hendrina Power Station, which is supplied by Optimum Collieries. It's 5.5 million tons per annum, and that contract the contract in dispute was originally planned to run until 2018. In terms of our relationship going on forward, one, we believe that the action that we took against what we believe Eskom had done in terms of our business, it's a right decision, and we will continue with this arbitration. Both parties have a healthy relationship, and whilst this arbitration has been postponed to March next year, we are in discussion with Eskom looking at the commercial terms on how to settle this dispute. So the relationship is not strained. All relationships go through stress testing, and I believe we can work together into the future.
Mike, so where you've seen this rise in tonnage of saleable coal during the financial year, you've seen strong relationships also being enjoyed. How much of your production will be directed for export, and how much for inland saleable tons?
Well, our plan at this point in time, we're looking at producing around between a range of 5.6 million tons to 6 million tons for export, and Eskom will stay at 5.5 million tons. If we produce more, when we talk about inland market, you must remember that we brought in Korenfontein. The acquisition of Korenfontein, one, give us a diversification in terms of operation. It gives us a good food export footprint in the country. Number three, our entitlement with Richards Bay Coal Terminal has increased from 6.5 to 8 million tons. So the increase comes with Korenfontein, and we believe that Korenfontein is bringing big value, good value with regards to the coal that we'll have out of there, giving it to the local customers.
Well, Mike, you mentioned your allocation at Richards Bay up from 6.5 to 8 million tons, and of course you did have problems getting your coal to Richards Bay because of that Transnet strike a few months ago. Just going forward though, are you confident that you can actually rail all that 8 million tons to Richards Bay? Are you going to get it to port to export?
The whole debate about Richards Bay Coal Terminal and railing with TFR, one, what I have seen TFR's performance, I am seeing that Transnet Freight Rail, after the strike, they have ramped up, they have improved, and I believe towards the end of the year they can do between 65 and 67 million tons. Richards Bay Coal Terminal, as you all know, that phase 5 is commissioned, and now the port can take 91 million tons. I think the most important thing for us as coal miners is the availability of coal to make sure that we deliver that. TFR, I am confident that they are improving.
Well, just taking a look, Mike, at the rand, I mean, it's really been plaguing operations, and it's a common pressure point for most exporters. Fair value for the rand in your books?
Well, I would have worked on a basis of 790 to 820. I am disappointed to see what I'm seeing now, 709, 707. There were talks before the World Cup and post-World Cup that the rand will weaken. And I have always emphasized to the team that we manage safety, tons and costs. Issues like exchange rates and coal prices, they do impact on our business, but what more can you do about it? But it does concern me.
Francois, just looking at Optimum Coal, of course they listed back in March this year, really the only pure coal play on the JSE. We had numbers up from Exxaro, which look pretty good recently, but of course they are exposed to iron ore more than coal. The investment case for Optimum Coal, I think it's trading around 25 Rand at this stage. Tangible NAV, you pointed out earlier, tangible NAV close to 27 Rand. Is there an investment case for Optimum?
Yeah, first of all, the company's got a market cap of about 6 billion Rand. Touched a high in April of just shy of 33 Rand, low of 24.70 at 25 Rand. According to the company's results released this morning, it's got a tangible NAV of 26 Rand 68 cents. So at 25 Rand, it's trading below that tangible NAV. What concerns me a little bit, it's not paying a dividend. But listening to Mike, and they've got good quality assets, but I think it's not a company I would invest in for widows and orphans. But if you have a slightly higher risk profile, you can nibble at it at these levels.
Just picking up on that, Mike, I mean, what is your divvy policy moving forward?
We have said our dividend policy will be 25% of our free cash flow. But we want to make sure that that will take place once we've taken care of our capital program, we've taken care of our business going forward. We've got a disciplined financial management system, and we believe that the issue of a dividend will be addressed. I am a shareholder in the business. I would be inclined to say let's pay dividends, but I want to be responsible and grow this business. The future of this business is great, and I am positive about it.